everyone, I think I'm officially live, checking, hope everyone can hear me. Please let me know if you can't. So, here's what's happening today. Today is my birthday! Yes, I'm officially doing a Facebook Live on my birthday. And I have a little cupcake to prove it. It says happy birthday on it. It has a little thing. Oh, right? And it even sings to me. Happy birthday to you! Oh, look how cute! And of course, I have my companion cube always here. So, to start the day, I want to always say, hi everyone, my name is Jaslin Martin, and I am a co-founder of LifeHealthSoul and a life and business coach. I focus on empowering clients with on-demand breakthroughs to love themselves, know their purpose, and take massive action in the right direction. So, today is overcoming procrastination. Now, to start off, I want you to think about a time that you procrastinated, whether it was earlier today, this week, or even a year ago. Just have that one time period in your mind at all times. Does everyone have a time? Hopefully. So, I really want to talk about how do you procrastinate, because there's about 3 different categories of procrastinating. And if you know these 3 categories and you know which one you are specifically focusing on in that time period, then you will officially be able to be self-aware of it and you can move forward, right? So I'm going to use an example of mine. So I have my website that at the moment it says coming soon because I need to work on it some more. I just got a new theme out. I'm super excited for it, and I'm super excited to show it to you girls and guys for that matter. And before I do that, I obviously want to work on it. Today's my birthday and I think I'm going to work on it just because I want to. So for me, it's more of a stalling process. So one of the 3 categories is stalling. Stalling is where, let's say you give yourself this hour, right? You give yourself this hour, and I call it creating hour. And I sit here and I'm like, I'm ready. And my fingers don't move. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go get water. I forgot water. And then I say, you know what? I got my water, but I'm going to use the bathroom. And I start stalling. Literally, the word is what it is, right? So another example is, so I know I'm supposed to get up, but I'm just going to snooze the alarm. Or another example is, so I know I have to do homework, but this TV show just came out. And so that's stalling. So that's one of the different categories of procrastination. There's another one called stopped. That one is you have a goal, you have a dream, you know what it is. It's probably a really big goal or dream for that matter, and you feel paralyzed. You don't even know how to start. You just can't move forward. Wherever you are in the process, you are stopped. And then there's spinning. So spinning would be the 3rd one. And that one is kind of like spinning plates. If you think of like the Cat in the Hat, at some point he had like a piece where he's like spinning plates and it's over and over again. And there's so many of them that all of them drop to the floor. So that's the same idea here. So you start a ton of projects and you finish none, right? So I've spent many times in my life before finding, like officially saying I'm going to be a life coach. I was going from project to project because I have so much creativity and I know what I want to do in life. At the same time, I have so many talents that which one do I choose? So these are the 3. Stopped, you have a goal and you feel paralyzed. Spinning, you start a ton of projects and finish none. Stalling, you give yourself this hour, you're going to say you do it and you do everything but that. Make sense? So these are the different types of procrastinations. If you know which one you are, now you can start figuring out which tools to use to move forward. So, which one sounds like you so far? So I'm going to talk about tools for stopped. Reminder, stopped is if you feel paralyzed and you have a huge dream, but you just can't move forward, right? So stopped tends to be fear-based on average. And there's 2 types of fears. 1, fear of failure. 2, fear of success. Yes, I actually said fear of success. It's a thing. So fear of failure, you're just worried about not making it. And you're worried that people will see you fail and that you'll just feel shitty. So you don't even want to try. Here's what I have to say about fear of failure. Everyone's got it, honestly. On some way or form, like I just don't know if I can make it, and you just don't have the confidence in yourself to get it done, right? So how about this? If you don't fail, you will never succeed. What do I mean? This is the start and this is the end. It's not a straight line, guys. It's just not a straight line. You can see the success. You know what your big goal is, right? It's so big that you feel paralyzed because you just don't know how to get there. Well, if you are here, you can start reaching, and then you're gonna go back down, and then it's gonna be a little roller coaster ride. It's gonna be like, and it's gonna be a crazy image or photo or whatever you want to call it, and then finally you'll reach it. But you're gonna go down. You're gonna have your ups. It's a roller coaster ride. This is the school of life. Fear of success. Fear of success, a lot of people still have this too. More people have fear of failure, but fear of success is very common as well. And the reason that people have fear of success tends to be because people tend to be worried that other people will think, oh, you're so successful, you think you're better than us, right? Or I just don't want to lose my friends, or I'm just worried about being the rhino of the group in a bunch of cows. You just don't want to be different. And whether you believed or not, or you realized beforehand that, like, what do you mean? I'm a hipster, right? Some people say that, but really in your heart, you probably want to be part of the crowd. And if you're fine with that, then okay, right? The thing with fear is that it may never go away. I can say a ton of things, but it doesn't mean that it's going to go away. And you need to know this. I am like bluntly honest. Everyone knows that. I'm going to tell you the truth no matter what. So no matter how much I believe in pixie dust, I'm not a fairy. I'm not. I can't wish away your feelings with a wand, but no matter how much I wish I could, it ain't happening, right? But I can tell you this. You're closest to your truth when you're most afraid. So how do you know it's fear? Fear mixed with dread is your intuition telling you to relax and take a chill pill. Like, you really don't have to do that, right? But fear mixed in with excitement. If you feel those butterflies, it's a hell yes, and you gotta go for it. Like YOLO right now, kind of thing. So how about this? What if? Just go with the what if. You don't have to completely believe me. Like, it's okay to disagree with me. I actually want you to disagree with me because that means that you're here to pay attention, and it means that you're thinking. And no matter what, I am not your guru. I'm not your teacher. I'm just here as a reminder to you of things that you already know and just making you extra aware of it. Self-awareness, that's my thing. So what if? What if it's not about us? What if what you're holding back from doing is bigger than you? What if it can change the world? Now, you might not know that it can change the world, but did Steve Jobs or Oprah or Tony Robbins? No, they had no idea that their dream was that big. They had some type of idea, right? Like, so do I. But I don't know how much I'm really going to end up changing people's lives. And if I just change one life, that's enough for me. I just truly believe that we are on this beautiful earth because we have a duty. We have a duty to make a mark. Like legendary status, right? Leave a legacy. To leave this earth more beautiful than how we came into it. And I really believe in, if you've heard of this, instead of the me game, I really believe the me game has to switch to the we game. This isn't just about one person. If you are afraid to move forward with your dreams, if you feel stopped, if you feel paralyzed, you got to think bigger than you. It's not an individual goal. Most likely, it's a bigger goal, and it can impact so many people. And our world is falling apart. I mean, look at our president, or even global warming. It is our individual responsibility to figure out what our gifts are and fearlessly share them. Now, with that said, now you're aware of what fear you have. What fear you have. Now, how do you go around it? How do you move forward? So a lot of people, I don't know what it is, but there's some type of power when you put just pen on paper, like, and just start writing. It shifts the way you view something, and it's kind of like putting on a lab coat, right? It's kind of like putting on a lab coat and being able to, you are the subject. You are literally going through your own life and starting to see yourself in like a third view compared to protagonist. if that makes sense. So here are some questions that I really recommend writing down. And if somebody ends up putting in the comments that you guys want me to put this in the comments, I totally will. So ask yourself, what's the worst that will happen if I fail? What's the worst that will happen if I fail? And can I handle that? What's the best thing that can happen if I succeed? What's the best thing that can happen if I succeed? And what's the worst thing that will happen if I succeed? Honestly, you'll lose a couple friends. You'll have a lot of money. You'll be following your dreams. And is that worth the possible failure? If it's worth the possible failure and the answer is like, hell yes, then move forward. What is stopping you? It's bigger than you. That's what I tell myself all the time. That's why whether I'm afraid to get on Facebook Live or I'm afraid to make a video or get on top of a speech or go ahead and do Mindset Mondays or start my book club in a couple days, whatever it is, there's always a fear base, but it's a fear of excitement. And that's how I know that I have to move forward. So what else normally stops us in our tracks? Not just fear, but normally it's the thought of being overwhelmed. It's too much for me. It's such a big dream that I don't know where to start. Well, how about this? It's just a thought. Overwhelmed is just a thought. We freeze, we stop, and we do nothing, but overwhelmed is also a choice. Self-aware and choice, my two things. You can choose to be overwhelmed, or you can choose to take it in very small steps, one step at a time. I was watching a show a couple of days ago. I think it's called Unbreakable, and it's like, I don't even want to talk about the show. I watched the first 2 episodes, and I was like, not my thing, but it did teach me something. You can do anything for 10 seconds, and then another 10 seconds, and another 10 seconds. If you take your life 10 seconds at a time, nothing will be overwhelming. I think that's brilliant. Just take everything 10 seconds at a time. Now, I used to say 5 minutes, and you can choose what variety you want to use, but I personally don't like washing dishes. That's just not my thing. My dad knows it, and he gets mad at me all the time about it. But when it comes to washing dishes, I'm going to drink some water if you don't mind really quickly. When it comes to washing dishes, and my dad's bugging me about it, I tell myself, Jaslin, just wash the dishes for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I'll put an alarm on sometimes if I'm really Dad, I'm booked right now, kind of thing. I'll put it on for 5 minutes, and after the 5 minutes, I'm normally about halfway through the dishes, and I'll just be like, you know what, Jaslin, just finish them up. You're almost there. So just putting that moment, whether you feel overwhelmed, tends to it makes everything possible. When you look at things in just a small time frame, or start with that one step, think of it as like a staircase. Just that one step. Don't think about, I'm on the 7th floor of my apartment complex, right? And if I keep thinking every single time that I'm going up the stairs like I'm on the 7th floor kind of thing, I'm never going to make it. But what I tend to do when people first come to my house is I'll just tell them, go up. And I'll let them go first, and they'll just keep going up, and they're like, Jaslin, which one's your apartment complex? And I just let them go up, and they even tend to pass the 7th apartment, the 7th floor, and they're still at it. And then finally, when we're the 9th or 10th, I'll be like, hey, I was on the 7th, and they'll be like, why? But it wasn't overwhelming. I didn't tell them that because they had gone one by one, and they were completing at some point, but they made it. And they made it above and beyond what they were expecting because they weren't overwhelmed. And now that they had gone through 10, they can make it to 7 almost every time, right? I already know their limits. So just know this. As a leader, you have to be able to put yourself out there and know that there is a possibility that you can fail or succeed. But you can even make a difference in someone's life. I love the story of the starfishes on the beach. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's the one where there was a little kid and there was a ton of starfish all over the beach, and they were away from the water, which means that they could be dying, right? And this little kid just starts running up to the starfish, and he picks one up and throws it in the water. picks another one up and throws it in the water. And there's a grandfather, and he's like, son, why are you trying to save a starfish? Like, you can't save all of them. And the little boy goes, well, I can save this one, and this one, and this one. So just think about one by one, right? So that's officially stopped. The next one is spinning, which spinning was the idea of that you have so many projects and it's not going to stop, right? It just hasn't finished. So for spinning, it's be mindful that you don't take too much at once, right? Do you know how to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. One of my managers once told me that. I'll never forget it. So pick one. So for me, I was focused on life coach, personal coaching, Facebook Lives, starting a podcast, creating a YouTube video, and I was so like overwhelmed by all of these different things and having so many projects because I'm always so creative and different ways to make money that I wasn't doing any of them correctly, right? So now I picked one, which is my mastermind one. This is like it, right? And that's life coaching. And now I created this umbrella for myself that anything that I do is under life coaching. If I do a podcast, it's going to be about topics that I use in my life coaching. If I do a YouTube video, if I do Facebook Lives right now, right, it all comes back to life coaching for me. And it's the circle of life, right? Circle of life, right? So stick to that one. So for me, it took me a good I did 6 or 7 months straight of just life coaching. And now recently I've started Facebook Lives, right? And YouTube videos for the matter, because I'm posting these on YouTube later. And the reason I waited so long was because I wanted to get a hold down of that one, of life coaching. And as soon as I had that one, I was like, I know I'm good at this. And I have testimonials and people love me for it. And I moved forward and I had a foundation. That's when I decided to open my creativity some more and start Facebook Lives. Make sense? So keep them all under the same umbrella. Now, the other thing is make a declaration. So right now I have a coach and my mentor at the moment called Jennifer Grace, and she uses declarations a lot, right? And it's to tell yourself that you will stick to this. Like, just imagine yourself really fulfilling it. Visualize on it. And my mom is amazing at visualizations, so she has audios for her visualizations. If you want some, please put in the comments and I'll make sure to send it to you. And she's amazing at it. Very low price, if anything, and she'll probably end up giving me some for free for sure. The first couple people that reply. So making a declaration is as easy as, I feel blank that I am now blank. So I feel excited, overjoyed, blessed, grateful, whatever you want to use. Make sure it's an emotion that's strong for you. I feel blank that I am now blank. I feel excited that I am now a life coach that has a wait list, that people are dying to have one-on-ones with me and have group coachings with me. So that kind of example. Be as specific as possible in your dreams, right? Another one is create your step plans. And this is still for spinning, guys, by the way, just to triple check. Create your step plans. Create SMART goals and stick to them, right? If you can set them up in little steps, little teeny weeny steps, and actually get them to go up the stairs, and you just focus on that one step, not the entire staircase, that one step, you're going to create a step plan that is going to be amazing for you. And I have a whole course on this, guys. I call it GPS, Goals, Problems, Solutions. And I really go into detail on how you can focus on your steps and really get majorly specific on them. So don't wait. If you feel like that's a topic for you that you're like, I don't even know where to start, please talk to me. I don't mind giving discounts or whatever is necessary. I'm here for you guys, right? And I really believe in spinning especially, but honestly, this is for all three of them. You have to tell someone. If you keep your dreams inside your head, nothing will happen, or even inside your heart for that matter. But if you get an accountability partner, if you have someone that's there for you and lifts you up and supports you in the process, you're going to move forward. You are. So pick someone, whether it's someone that's on the LifeHealthSoul Academy or if it's somebody else, pick someone. although it's probably going to be a good idea if you pick someone from LifeHealthSoul Academy. I'm pretty sure if you guys comment and you just put, hey, does anyone want to be my accountability partner, you're going to find someone. And a lot of people that do this, even on like a random group or a group that you guys talk every once in a while, and you're going to end up realizing that you'll probably pick the right person. And a lot of people, I did this once and ended up going on a date. It was great. But a lot of people that do this tend to get married or find best friends, or because you're finding someone that is supporting you in your dreams. And a lot of people don't have that in their regular life. So it's great to have that now, right? So I talked about stopped. I talked about spinning, and now I'm going to talk about stalling. And this one is my weakness, to be honest, where I'll just be like, okay, I'm going to start Facebook Lives at 10:30, and I started at 10:45 just because I was having some kind of technical issues, but then I kind of started stalling earlier this morning because I was supposed to start at 10, and then I ended up wanting to do my laundry, and then it's my birthday, so why not, right? Stalling. Even on overcoming procrastinations, knowing that I had to do this, I was stalling. So imagine. So here are some tools, right? And at least I knew I was stalling. That's the first step, being self-aware of it, right? So stalling reminder is the one that I do all the time. And it's literally you are saying that you're going to do something and you end up doing something else, right? So you're like, this is the time period for bam. And you just start watching TV shows, or read a book, or hang out with a friend, or go on Facebook or social media. People tend to do social media for stalling in general. So my favorite is creating hours, right? What I mean by that is, or productive hours, or whatever else we're going to call it. I like to call it creative hours because it makes me feel good. So this is where your time is dedicated to this one task, and you do nothing else but that one task, and it's non-negotiable. Think of your creating hours as like if you were to go to work. When you say like, I gotta wake up at 9 a.m. in the morning to go to work, and I'm gonna be there until 5 p.m., right? A 9 to 5. If you said that you're gonna go to work and somebody invites you out to the movies, you're gonna be like, no, I have work. I can't go to the movies. Not until after 5, right? So it's the same idea. Really thinking about, okay, whether you have your own business or whatever it is, or you have homework, you have to see it as, this is my work time. I need to do this at so-and-so time period, right? And you just can't move from that. You need to be 100% committed, and it's non-negotiable. So that's creating hours. Now, I like to be aware that I am self-sabotaging myself when I stall. So I self-sabotage my future self instead of my present self. What do I mean? I know that was a little complicated. So I turn off my phone, or I end up giving it to someone around me so I can't use it, or turn on an app called Forced. If you haven't used that app before, it starts creating like little trees for you, and then you can't use your phone for those 15 minutes or the tree dies. And obviously you want to create a forest, and like you don't want to kill trees. That's the whole thing for me, right? And I know that before my creating hours, I'm gonna want to get water. I'm gonna want to go to the bathroom. So I always have my little water. I always have my water beforehand so I can't get up in the middle of my Facebook Live, right? Use the bathroom beforehand before I end up like, okay, I'm getting nervous kind of thing. And I know that social media is my weakness, so I will just like take off all notifications from my thing, or I'll put my laptop on airplane mode and just use Word to do things, whatever it is you need to do, okay? Just get her done. Now, a great example of future self-sabotage is I love to eat bread, right? That's just, it's a thing for me. Now, what I tend to do to stop myself from eating bread is when I'm at a restaurant and the waitress comes up with that big bowl of bread and she brings it to the table, I'll be like, can you take it back? Even before she brings it to the table, when she asks for water or anything like that, if I can get her beforehand, I'll tell her like, don't bring the bread. Don't bring it. Or just bring a couple for so-and-so person, right? 2 or 3. Don't bring the whole bowl. Now, if for whatever reason it does come to the table and she walks away really quickly, or another waitress comes and brings it and drops it off, or whatever it is, what I tend to do, and I'm very serious about this, you can ask my family, I look like a crazy person, but it works, so what can they tell me? I get the salt and the pepper, I look at the bread, and I just Literally what I do. I just pour salt and pepper on it. And if I pour salt and pepper on it, I know that I'm not going to end up wanting to eat it, right? I'm not having that. So I self-sabotage my future self into wanting the bread. Make sense? In any way that I can. So the other thing is get a timer. Not a timer on your phone. Don't get a timer on your phone. Get a timer like a kitchen timer or anything like that. If you put up like a post-it note, I like to put up post-it notes as well, like that says you cannot get up from your seat until the timer goes off, right? Or I put, do I want it or not? Or I'll even put, knowing that I'm a staller, I'll put, don't stall. Catch yourself, right? No stalling. I'll give myself reminders and put different post-it notes wherever my work area is, which is like right there, right? I just love the idea of, do you want it or not? That's a great thing, especially for like in the mornings when I keep pressing snooze. At some point, I'll have an alarm that literally tells me, and it's like a recording of myself, do you want it or not, Jaslin? Get your up, right? That tends to be like, okay, gosh, past me is so annoying, right? So I set the timer for normally like 30 minutes, and then boom, I get super focused, and I get shit done, right? And if I dare to want to distract myself in some way or form, I look up the second post-it note. Do I want it or not? Make sense? So timer and post-it notes, great mix. So I've officially gone over the 3 different categories: stopping, spinning, and stalling, and I've gone over tools for each one of them. Now, I had mentioned this earlier that self-aware is my thing, right? And I say self-aware because at the end of the day, it's all about being self-aware about who you are and which ones you tend to do, and when you're procrastinating, what type of procrastination is this? What tool did she mention that I could do for this? Oh, get a timer. Okay, let me go get a timer and let's do this correctly, because if not, I'm just not going to get it done. Be self-aware. Now you can catch yourself in the act, and now you have a choice. It's not just automatic for you. Now, that's what self-improvement is about, guys and girls. It's all about choice. You have a choice in your life. You get to declare. You can procrastinate, or there's a new opportunity to do something better or different. That's the idea. So I totally recommend, as like a little life work, right? Because I don't do homework, I do life work, the school of life in general, is put up those post-it notes in whatever area that you want to get work done, and really just take massive action. You know these tools now. You have this video that you can watch over and over again. Just follow your dreams. Now, as a bonus, whoa, where did I put it? There it is. As a bonus, I had told you guys that we're going to start a book club online. I was going to do it in person, and I probably will still have it in person every once in a while, but on the computer on LifeHealthSoul Academy, I am getting, is going to be our first book of the book club. This is like the second time I do this. So this one's by Jennifer Grace, the mentor that I had mentioned earlier, and it's called Directing Your Destiny. And I'm going to read the back of it so you guys can see what it's about, see if you guys are interested. Directing Your Destiny. If you were given the chance to write your own future and direct your own destiny, would you? Brave from Disney. How would your life change? In this groundbreaking new book, author Jennifer Grace shares insights from her experience as a SAG actress, screenwriter, and filmmaker that give everyone the opportunity to write, produce, and direct the movie of their life. By following her easy to understand practices, you'll learn to rewrite scenes in order to align yourself with self-love, creativity, peace, and empowerment, and recast your story with people who are in sync with their highest selves. By utilizing the authenticity frequency method, AFM, that Jennifer has developed, countless business leaders, artists, and students of all ages and backgrounds have already manifested new horizons, new careers, and all new lives. With 9 gentle daily practices, Jennifer helps you access the authentic emotions that you'll need to set the stage for a happily ever after you previously only thought was possible in the movies. These pages hold the tools, the techniques, and the teacher that you need to dramatically reimagine your reality. In just 4 weeks, with a little discipline and diligence, you'll discover how to thrive in a world of lights, camera, action, and bring your own story of life. So 4 weeks, 1 month, this is what's happening. So if you're interested, I actually, just because if you guys know me, she actually signed mine. Oh, right. So Joy, so happy to have you in this journey. I see big things for you. XOXO Jennifer Grace. So I'm super excited to read this with you girls and guys. And I will be putting little comments about different chapters that I'm reading through time, and what did you guys think about so-and-so, or giving you guys some tips or explanations for specific things that she mentioned, so we can really go into detail about it. And then I'll probably still do a book review, because I love my little book reviews that I tend to do. As a bonus, I'm also reading Moon Chosen by PC Cast, which is like over there. I'll put you guys a picture up later. And Moon Chosen by PC Cast is my favorite book. And October 17th, 2017 is the second book coming out, Sun Warrior. So I'm super excited. If anyone wants to read it with me, please, or if you want to talk about it, please do. Last thing I'm going to mention is I am going to do a second Facebook Live, and it's a bonus because of my birthday. And it's going to be 22 new things. Whoa, where is it? There you go. 22 new things for my 22nd year. So if you guys are interested, that's going to be on my regular Jaslin Martin page on Facebook, and I'll probably post it on YouTube later. Okay, so see you guys soon. Thank you. Give me 1 second. Oh, there you are. Bye. Create a nice day.